A full and active retirement should be everyone's dream, but can the UAE's new visa laws actually bridge the gap between fantasy and reality? That's what we're discussing on this edition of Inside AB. I'm Bernd Tabusin, and I'm here with Jeremy Lawrence. Jeremy, so quite good news for lifer expats last week here in the UAE.
It certainly was, yes. The Abu Dhabi government announced that as part of their Tomorrow 21 reforms, residents aged 55 are eligible for a 5-year visa if they own property worth 2 million dirhams, they have 1 million dirhams in saving, or an income of 20,000 dirhams per month. So that's great news.
But are expats even saving enough to make that a viable option then?
Well, this is the first caveat. Basically, no. HSBC's Future Retirement Report last year said that only 44% of expats in the UAE feel that they've got enough to provide for themselves in retirement. And bear in mind that people tend to underestimate what they'll need in any case. 63% think that they will work in some capacity part-time once they reach retirement age as well, which again depends on opportunities and their continued good health. So we're probably underestimating what we need to retire and overestimating our capacity to fund that gap.
So are we being sold a dream then of retirement?
This is the other side of the coin. You'll find pension fund managers selling you this dream. We've all seen images like the one on the screen behind us of the sort of healthy young retired couple on a yacht somewhere or doing yoga on a beach. But the reality is that's fine when you're in your 50s and 60s and even 70s. But with people living in some cases much longer, we need to think about the whole stretch of our retirement into the deep recesses of old age. So having this grandiose plan to go and live somewhere remote and do up a farmhouse somewhere, it's not practical once you hit a certain age. And I don't think that people here are always thinking in those terms because we're not really encouraged to do so.
Is that what we need to plan for then, the longer term than the immediate time after retirement?
Yes, there was a Harvard study that was done. It was started 80 years ago. They followed the same group of men throughout their whole lives. And the big takeaway from this, it was quite obvious really, but this was a rigorous academic study. It wasn't money or status that predicted their physical and mental health as they hit old age. It was the deepness of their connections, being part of a community. So you can see that actually when you retire, the most important thing is that you have a community around you, family, old friends, that support network. So again, this dream we're sold of this life of leisure somewhere remote that sounds ideal when you're sort of in the midst of your working life is not actually what we need when we hit that stage of our lives. So it's just something to bear in mind about not just financially what we need, but in terms of what we need physically and mentally as well.
That's interesting. So bringing it back to the UAE then, what's the good news for expats here with the new?
Yeah, okay. So we've said already that 55, you can get this 5-year visa. That's a great option if you save enough money. But what happens after that? Clearly, we're not there yet. The UAE still doesn't represent somewhere you can say, for most people, that you can say, this is where I'm going to see out my days. But picture a scenario where the health insurance packages have evolved to cater to sort of much older people. Picture a scenario where we have much more rigorous work-based pension saving schemes that we have throughout our careers here. So we're retiring with a much bigger pot of money and robust savings. And then imagine that you get real estate developers who can build retirement villages with all the facilities that we need. You'll have expats that have been here for, in some cases, decades, who've got children, even grandchildren, who will have that support network. And you'll start to see that this place could emerge as a very viable place. It's got the climate, it's got the safety, it's got the people who want to be here. And then finally, bear in mind what's in it for the UAE. In the UK, for example, 50% of consumer spending is from the over 50s. It's a very lucrative market that the UAE can tap into.
So last question then, what overall conclusions can we draw from everything that you just mentioned?
Well, one, that it's great that the UAE has got these new pension laws, retirement visa laws. It's one step along the way to something more substantial. 2, that we need to think again about how we save up for that. And 3, that we need to be practical about what actually will serve us as we hit our golden years and beyond that.
Okay. Thank you, Jeremy. A very interesting and important story for us all that live here. If you want to hear more about this, go to arabianbusiness.com. Make sure to tune into our YouTube channel every weekday morning at 10 a.m. And thank you for watching.